Over the next few videos, what I'd like to do is just explore some of the other functions and features of Excel that you might find useful, including those that are new to Office 365. One of the things that is unique is the unique function and something called spills. So let's explore that a little bit further. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to produce a list of names. So I'm going to have a heading called names, and I'm just going to make up some names. So Maya and Helen and Barbara, Mo, and so on there. And basically I'm going to replicate some of these. It might be a classification of points or whatever else we have here. Yeah, we need a couple more, so let's re-include Barry into there and Helen again. So there's a selection of names in there. Now, what I can do here, this is just a list. It's just a list of names, that's all it is, a list of data with a heading. Excel doesn't see this as anything different, all of this is collected. But what I can do is I can go here and I can say equals unique. So what I then do is I open brackets and it wants an array. So I'm just going to go like that and then close the brackets. And notice what it's done. There's a couple of things it's achieved here. Number one, we've got all the names that are in here, but only once. They have only appeared once in this list here. But equally, when I click on the list, if I click on the first one, that's the formula I typed in. The next one down, I didn't type that, but it appeared. And you can see the formula is grayed out. I can do anything with that formula at all. If I want to do anything, I have to go back to the original formula at the top. And you'll also notice that when I click on it, there's a blue boundary. This is called a spill. And this is spilt over from here. Now, that's incredibly useful. That's really neat. Unique by itself with that feature is fantastic. But there's other bits that we can mix this with. Spills have further uses. But let's have a look at the problem. I'm now going to add my name to the end of that list. And notice nothing happens. That's because I now need to go here and I now need to extend that range. So extend it down and now my name appears. So let's copy this list again. But this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the whole thing. I'm going to remove my name at the bottom for the moment. I'm going to select all of the data and then I'm going to go to Insert Table. Now, do we remember, hopefully you remember that tables are again a feature within Excel which has been added. Originally all you had was spreadsheets with their cells and so on because it's a table of data. But now we have tables that can go onto the spreadsheets and that gives us further skills, further tools that we can use. So if I apply table, it's going to recognize I've done a selection and I'm just going to tell it, yes, my table has headers. And all that says to it is the top line is my header. So click OK. And now it's selected and it's highlighted it as a table. Now I can change the formatting through table design. I can say, no, I'd like it that way or this way or do other bits and bobs to it. But that's not what we're interested in at the moment. How does that fit with our spill? Well, let's try it. Equals unique. Again, open brackets. And now I'm going to select the data there. You can see the table reference is different. It's now not I4 to just working it out for I13. It's now using a table name. So this is a table called names, and that's what it's using there. So I can close the brackets. And now I've got the same thing I've got here. But the really neat thing is that if I add my name to the end, the table extends and therefore so does the spill. And that is impressive. Now that's a really neat little trick. Let's explore this a little bit further. Let's do the same thing. And we're going to choose our list here. Now we've got by col, and that clearly, if I press comma, so one thing you can notice is that's bold, so we're looking at the array, and I can always click on and get further details, but we've got used to that. This is the array at the top that we're talking about, this array of cells. If If I press comma, I move to the next option along, and I can either do it return unique columns or I can return unique rows, and therefore obviously I can analyze this way or across, and that's up to me. I don't want to do that, so I'm just going to press comma again to go to the last option, exactly once. The default approach of this system is to return every distinct item. So Maya appears 1, 2, 3 times, and Maya appears at the top of the list. I appear once, so I appear in the list. But if I set this to true, then it only pulls in those items that appear only once and only once in that list. And the really neat thing is that I can do the same thing and grab my list, ignore that one, and I don't have to use the word true. When I've got true, false, that's a binary choice. I've got 2 choices, true or false. And the same thing could be represented in numbers, with true being 1 and false being 0. So if I say 1, I'm saying true, yes, I just want the unique items. So if I do that, I get the same result. I have the same spill. So that's really, really helpful. Let's have a look at another one. So let's take the names over here and let's just copy them over here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to give each person a department. So we're going to go finance for Maya. So let's give Maya finance in each case. Whoops. There you go. I'm going to be in department A, and let's copy that and give that to Barry as well. We're going to have an R&D department. So we're definitely going to have Helen in the R&D department. So we'll do that there. Now, my dear friend Barbara is going to be in finance, and Mo is going to be in stock, whilst Helen, as I say, is R&D. So we've got that covered. And then what we're going to look is their spending. So 323, let's do that for each case for Maya. So each time Maya does expenditure, she spends that amount. 432, well, that's going to be Helen's expenditure each time. I'm going to do 566, and let's get Barry to do 754. We'll stick Mo at 87 and Barbara at 564. So what we'll now do is let's turn that into a table. So insert table. Yes, it's got a heading. And there we go. So what happens now, if I do equals unique and I grab the whole of the array, keep it with the column. In fact, I don't need that at the moment. Let's just close the table off and press enter. And now it gives me that unique row. So I've got each row uniquely identified. So if I then go through this and I change, let's say we change Helen to 452, Helen now gets added in because that row is now no longer unique. We now have that difference, so it appears in this list here. If we then realize that that was nothing more than error, this is live. This is just feeding through. This is updating itself each time. So that's really useful. That's incredible. And this spill idea is helpful because now we've got something else to use, to analyze with and to play with. So welcome to the unique function, and welcome to the idea of spills, which are going to become more and more relevant within Excel. Okay, let's see you in the next video.